It's just one of those sets that's the epitome of the magic of the creation of Middle-earth. Like, it exists. And you can kind of walk around and forget you're in a movie set. And the cool thing is this time around they built it for real.
This is the second incarnation of Hobbiton. We built this 10 years ago for Lord of the Rings, and at the end of that shoot, we removed the whole set. We took away all our hobbit holes, we took away the whole thing and just left it as a pasture, farmland.
Because initially, as the story goes, the farmer actually didn't really want the film production to leave anything here, so he was quite happy when the film production decided to, you know, look, we're going to build it, but we're going to tear it down.
And over the years, as the Lord of the Rings films got released, this place became really popular. People came here as a holiday destination, as a fan destination.
There wasn't an awful lot left. We went to visit, I believe, in November 2008, and most of the hobbit holes were gone. Bag End was a facade in plywood painted white with round hole, small round windows.
And even that became popular with tourists who just wanted to go and see where Hobbiton used to be. And when the Hobbit came around and we, you know, needed Hobbiton again, obviously we went straight back to the Alexanders, to the owners of the farm, and said, listen, do you mind if we rebuild Hobbiton again? Because we kind of need to come back here again.
It was probably 5 years ago that Peter sent us a letter and said he's interested in making the Hobbit again and wanting to come back.
It was an idea I had of, look, you know, why don't we build it out of permanent materials this time, not polystyrene? Because so many people had been to visit that farm. And I thought, well, it's an opportunity to actually have Hobbiton there now.
Peter wanted to do Hobbiton properly, and so we were using real wood and real slate and real materials that were going to be there for years to come.
This is the remaining Hobbit hole, original Hobbit hole, and looking back.
So where we might take shortcuts and do a small retaining wall for the structure of these Hobbit holes, there was none of that. We had to excavate these holes, fully retain them in accordance with the local requirements.
You can see the bracing into the hillside, 5 metres into the hill, the tieback system. We have these steel rods going into the hill. Hey mate, good? Excellent.
As far as the construction side of things, it was more complicated, no doubt, but where the trick really lay was in completing Hobbiton in reasonable time before the shoot.
On Lord of the Rings, we set ourselves up with a year for Hobbiton to grow in, and this time round we weren't going to be nearly so lucky.
We were due to shoot Hobbiton in February, which is the end of New Zealand summer, so we had a limited amount of time to do it.
And we were a little concerned because the Hobbiton had only been in the ground for 6 months at that stage.
And the grass wasn't quite long enough at that point, and we were thinking, ooh, we're a little bit nervous that it just wasn't quite going to be lush enough. But then there was a slight delay.
We got wind of Peter's illness, and so Hobbiton went off the schedule.
We missed an opportunity to film during the summertime, and it wasn't going to be any good if we didn't have Hobbiton in its full bloom.
So they had to push this particular set a year on.
This is a great spot.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's probably the most stacked up. Oh, there's another bit down by the lake.
Another bit down by the lake, yeah.
There was nothing better for Hobbiton than to have been delayed. I mean, much as Peter had to get sick to do it, and we'll feel sorry for that, it certainly helped us in that we got a whole year of growth, regrowth.
It was an amazing difference between when we were ready to shoot the first time and when we actually shot the second time.
What happened is we left all the objects on the set and let nature just sort of grab them, and they incorporated them into this sort of really comfortable landscape.
All these vines and creepers and grasses, they weren't just this big, they were this big.
This arrangement's been sitting here for a year, and it's just got all the grass and all the gorgeous stuff growing up through it. It's almost melted into the landscape, which is really lovely. Time gives you something that really good planning just can't give you.
a sort of authenticity that we couldn't have even hoped for.
Hi, welcome to Bag End, the home of Bilbo Baggins, the flashiest hobbit hole in the Shire. Just check his mail here. Bit of junk mail. I'll take that in for him. This is Bilbo's garden. Hobbits generally have to grow their own produce because there aren't any supermarkets in Hobbiton. And he does a pretty good job with help from Sam Ganji and the Greens Department.
So I've just been visiting Gaffer Gamgee. This is 3 Bagshot Road, Sam Gamgee's house, in about 60 years' time. You know, one of the lovely things about Hobbiton is that there are 44 homes that hobbits live in the immediate Hobbiton area. And like any society, there are rich people, there are poor people, there's middle-class people, there's sort of all that in between. And so we tried to bring that to Hobbiton.
You have to look at each hobbit hole as who lives there, what do they do?
This is Wood Chopper Hobbit. He supplies all of the wood for the fireplaces for the entire Dell area, the neighbourhood here. You can also see up there the washing station. So all the hobbits in this neighbourhood get together and do their washing.
The work ethic of a hobbit means that the laundry probably stays out for a couple of weeks before it gets changed around.
This is the chicken farmer's house here in Hobbiton. We come in and just add a few details like the nest here, awning, all the little hand tools and things, the bell.
As you go further over towards the lakeside, they're much more fishermen's dwellings.
This is the fishing village lane. There's a lot of eels in Green Dragon Lake. There are in fact some quite big ones in there. These are plastic ones, of course. This is a hobbit coracle, the most basic of vessels. Doesn't get a lot of use because hobbits don't like water, of course. Although there was a time when we were first introduced to Smeagol and he had a coracle that was quite similar. And of course he was into fishing.
Was everything here, was it all the same, or is there more now? Or?
There's more, apparently. Well, there's meant to be more up on the hill.